suppress your appetite, which would help um, what would you say? Motivate weight loss. That's not the right word, but basically it was supposed to help. But the thing is, because it was a clinical trial, it was possible I could get a placebo, right, and not the actual drug. So I was a little nervous about that, but I was at this point where, like, man, I gotta try something. So anywho, signed up for that, met with the dietitian, had to come back again for meeting with the therapist and the dietitian again. Did my weigh in. This time I had gained some weight again. So before my ankle surgery and my highest weight, which was 344, I pretty much rode 322, 321. Like, I might get down to 319, but it didn't stay long, right? So I weighed in at that time at like 327 or something like that. Maybe 331. Well, I can't remember. I don't know. But it was high. And I was kind of afraid that I was creeping closer to my highest weight. So, anywho, my doctor did have some concerns because he wanted me to do gastric bypass, and he suggested gastric bypass, but I came in there saying I wanted to do the gastric sleeve surgery because it was less invasive, and I really didn't want to have to mess with my intestines and rerouting stuff. Like, that's not really what I wanted to do, but he was like, you have the most results. I think you lose about 70 to 80, maybe even 90% of your excess fat if you go bypass versus the gastric sleeve, or aka the VSG surgery, is between 60 to 80%. And so he had some concerns because he wanted me to be successful, right? Because according to the charts, I was 150 pounds overweight of what I should be. But I don't want to look like a skeleton either. So, anywho, um, because I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and I have to take an injection for my MS 3 times a week with gastric bypass, there is some issues with absorption issues, and the doctor was concerned about me not being able to absorb the medication that I would need for MS, and so we got on the same page and we both decided that um, VSG surgery would be the right thing to do. So I was like, yes, okay, good. So, but he's like, you're going to have to work hard though because you got a lot of weight to lose. Now, secretly in my head, if I lose 100 pounds, I'll be winning. If I lose 80 pounds, I would not consider this in vain. So anyway, yeah. So let's fast forward. Okay, now it's time to make this work. So the thing was, I had to come out there once a month and meet with a dietitian and then get weighed in. And then also as part of the clinical trial, I would have to check in with the clinical manager, the clinical trial manager, as well as they sent me a Wi-Fi digital scale. And then there was this app where I had to journal all my food. And that's how they monitored my progress. So I think that kind of helped with the big brother aspect of it because it kept me accountable. And even when I would have a weigh-in where it wasn't that much of a weight loss, or it was no weight loss, or it was a gain, it totally control alt deleted me where I had to reset and refocus. The pill I took was awesome because it magnified that full feeling that we have, that when we eat and it's kind of faint and it's kind of tell you, all right, girl, all right, well, me, all right, woman, Tally, girl, we're full. But if you like kind of keep pushing past it, you could eat past it, and that's how you overstuff yourself, right? And overeat. So basically, this pill, I had to take it 30 minutes before I ate with water, and basically it would magnify, and I would get full faster, and I could eat smaller amounts. And basically, it started from taking it once a day to 3 times a day, basically before each meal, and no snacking. So I did that for 12 weeks, 14 weeks. Changed my life. I was losing weight. Um, I couldn't believe it. Every time I would weigh in, it would be less and less. But then I had to deal with the emotional triggers. So beyond just losing the LBs, I was purging other stuff like pain and um, talking about myself before other people talked about me. I wonder, is this light? Maybe I should turn on the light. Oh, that's a little better. Sadness, knowing my worth, um, my childhood being rushed because I had to be for other folks, people who were supposed to take care of me. I had to be for them. Not being able to just be young and be a kid. I was teased a lot by cousins and other people, and guys didn't like me, or I wasn't like, people weren't trying to date me or whatever, and if they was, they wanted some other shit. So so as I was going through this losing process, I was losing more than just the weight. I was losing the trauma, the triggers, the harm, being disappointed by the first man in my life, father issues. And even struggling with being married and being in a blended family, like, all that took a toll on me. And the thing that had kept me, gave me comfort, even if it was temporal, I was having to push away from that a bit and have a new relationship with it, where I had to look at it from nourishment versus comfort.